FM.
Keep it locked right here on Marlin's hottest radio station.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Marlin's hottest radio station.
KMRL 90.3 FM. Playing yesterday's favorites.
Yesterday's favorites.
And today's hottest hits.
Today's hottest hits.
Wake up! Wake up, little Susie.
wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon.
Come on, dear, it's time to get up.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Wonderful morning to you.
KMRL 90.3 FM radio station presents
The Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show.
Well, good morning, Marlin. This is Classy C, and I'm here with Crazy Chris for the Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show. Good morning.
Yeah. It's Tuesday, the second day of the week. It's cold and rainy, so get off your feet. Turn your heater on, and you're gonna need it sweet, because tomorrow's gonna be 67 degrees. Yeah, come on, class, you see.
It's Tuesday, the second day of the week. It's Tuesday. It's time to get up on your feet. It's Tuesday. There's no more time to sleep. It's Tuesday. Good morning. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. Good morning, Marlin. Welcome back to the Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show. It is February 19th, 2019. That's right. Yes. There is only 9 more days left to the month. And that also means we have 9 more days to celebrate Black History. So we're in the middle of a little over the middle of the Black History Month. But it's not over with yet. It's never over with. We always keep Black History in our hearts and in our minds, no matter what the month is.
It's 365 days a week.
A week?
I mean a year.
It's going to be a long year, honey. Yeah. 365 days a week. We're going to be here for a while.
Really?
All righty, good morning. So stay tuned. This morning we have a guest speaker coming on the air to talk.
We'll be celebrating Black History a little different way this morning.
Yes. So she'll be coming on. Classy will still have her Black History moment, won't you?
No, we'll just let her talk.
Okay.
And then we'll, because I don't know how long she will talk.
Okay.
And then we'll do our other stuff.
Yeah, well.
That will be the Black History Month.
We're going to shorten up our gab this morning.
Yeah.
And that way we'll have plenty of time. We don't want to rush our guest speaker. So we'll shorten our gab up this morning and get on to some of these other things before we get to our first song break. When we come back from that first song break, we'll have her on the line.
Yeah,
more or
about
less.
10 o'clock out. Huh?
Yeah, so keep it tuned. Don't go nowhere. This is going to be a great show. This is Professor/Dr. Andrea Williams from Ohio State University, a Marlinite, native Marlinite. See, told y'all. We were just talking about that today. People from Marlin are graduating from here, going to colleges, and becoming something important, something huge, iconic. Well, there you have it. You're going to hear about one today. Yes. And it seems like Marlin's going in the right step. Look at the game the other day. They are really taking over.
Did they win last night? I don't know.
I don't know. If anybody want to let us know about what happened with the game last night with the girls, right? Give us a call, 254-275-7476. Let us know what happened on that last night. We don't even have nothing on it right now, so I can't report anything about it. I don't know if they won, if they lost, what was going on. We would like to know. So if you know, give us a call this morning, right? Anytime right now, between now and our first song break, we'd like to hear from you. So, anyway, so what we're doing is since this is Black History Month, we are celebrating extra here for you by playing, and it's also Mardi Gras season. So we know that Mardi Gras is a big thing for a lot of people, and I know, that's not New Orleans is not the only place that puts on Mardi Gras. We have Galveston puts on a real nice one. I know the Mobile, Alabama puts on a real nice Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is celebrated all across the South in many different cities, so it's a big thing. Everybody likes to participate. It's fun. It's carnival time, so we've been playing Mardi Gras music along with mixed in with cultural and African and Black History Heritage Moments. Okay? And we'll do that. We'll continue to do that all month long here in February to keep the spirit alive as well as the educational. Okay? So, that's what we've been doing. We're sorry we missed you yesterday. Well, as you know, we was not on air. I was also told that somebody forgot to make sure that y'all had a re-airing yesterday. So if some of y'all were tuning in yesterday and y'all were trying to hear something on Monday, a previous recorded program is what they're supposed to be doing when we're not here. I apologize. So somebody dropped the ball on that. Gosh, I don't know who that could have been, but we apologize for that. But we're here. We're back for the rest of the week, as far as I know. So much stuff going on. Man, I have been busy. So, you know, Crazy Chris is on his remodeling journey with Classy C.
Yes.
We are coming along.
We're coming along. This morning I went to the room and I looked, and it looks real nice.
Despite all the clutter, huh?
Yeah.
It's got a lot of clutter. How do we get that much clutter in there? The room was empty before we started. Ooh.
But it looks nice.
Just needs organization, what's in there now. And we will get hopefully by this weekend, we'll get rid of.
Some of it's trash. And
some of it just needs to be taken out. And we have a little special someone that will do that, hopefully. But so what we're going to do is we're still continue working on that. My goal, because it is the 19th of February, I want to be done by the last day of the month with that room, because we're on a schedule.
Yes.
When we leave from that room, we go and do our main bathroom. Yeah. You know, and y'all, let me tell you something. Don't let a bathroom fool you. Bathrooms look small and easy, but they're not. There's a lot to do in them, too. Because every room has walls. Every room needs floors. You know how that is. You got to do your floors. You got to do your walls. And in this case, we're going to redo our tub. Yeah. It's going to be pretty, though, once we put that in.
I think so.
And then a few little cosmetic things we got to do. And, of course, painting. You can't forget about painting. Who remodels a room don't paint?
Once it's finished, we'll post on social media, and y'all can see what we've been doing.
Yeah, I had somebody write me and said they missed, you know who, I think you know, says she misses the postings that we used to do when we've been remodeling, and all kind of postings, our food posts, any posts that we do, they've been missing. They really enjoy it.
Haven't been posted.
We seem to get for some odd reason, we get a lot of attention about stuff like that. Versus what we post.
We don't get as much attention on stuff we post on the radio. I don't know.
But if we put something about our personal selves or we put something about our remodeling, people just love it.
Yeah.
I got 60-some replies on the bathroom. People just loved it. I had a couple in there. 2 people said they wanted us to come over and do theirs. I don't know what it is, why people see something. They hey, come do mine. No, that's okay. I have enough going on right here. They're really going to hate it when they see how beautiful the floors are going to look again later. Because I'm redoing our floors again, you know, this time, and I'm not going to do it until we get new furniture because the furniture slid and
you won't be able to do that before your mother comes.
No,
I don't know if she'll be able to stand that.
No, some of these things we'll have to wait till later on, but it is on my to-do list.
You may have to go to a hotel.
Good luck with that. Anyways, she's gonna be a pistol, ain't she? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm looking forward to some of it, but some of it I ain't. But it goes with the catch. Yes, my mother, Classy's beautiful mother-in-law, is moving in with us. Some of y'all already know what that's like, and it's not always bad, is it? It just depends, I think. You know.
I haven't lived with anybody other than my children and you, so I don't know.
Do you think it's gonna? Do you think you'll be good with it?
I hope it'll be good.
I think you'll be all right.
If not, I always have my bedroom to go to.
Oh, come on. You know your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She loves
But
you.
I haven't lived with her.
No, but I mean, you know, she's gonna be in her own world. Believe me. You know, I don't think she's gonna be. I don't think she's gonna be bugging us. Trust me.
Oh, you don't.
No, she ain't gonna be bugging us. Trust me. I don't think we're gonna have any problems with her.
Okay.
She's gonna be sweet. She's gonna be real sweet, ain't she?
Yes.
So I mean, I'm confident that it'll be all right. So, but that's what we're doing right now. We are in the process of remodeling. We're getting everything ready, and we're hoping that it'll go good, won't it?
Yes.
So,
We have to use positive energy, like the pastor says.
what?
Use positive energy.
Positive energy. Hey, we ought to use it on her. In the name of Jesus, you are healed. Just don't have to hear her coughing or anything. We better be nice. All right. So that's what we've been doing. So just to give you an update on our remodeling journey, it's I think we're still on target.
Yeah, I hope.
I think we're still on task. We need to do our little checkoff list. It's going to help a lot because I'm kind of confused what I need to do next. Not really confused, but there's so much to do, so I don't know where to really. I need to look at what I need to do. You know. Okay. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to move through this today. We really got to move it on.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go to birthdays right now. And you know, I was going to show you. I'll have to show you how you get to it on. I discovered how you do it on there, which was a lot. I think I discovered it by accident, and so now I was like, okay, that's good. I have to show class to see that. Okay, this is. Y'all give me 1 minute here. This is why I don't like copying. When you copy and paste stuff, it just. There we go. Sometimes you have to redo it again. And you have to be careful how you do these things. See, on social media, it's the hardest thing to mess with. Because if you don't do it right, you know, then you have a mess. Okay, I have Sandra Evans' birthday today. Also named Kiki. Okay, they call her. Also, I have Samantha Smith. Happy birthday to Samantha Smith. Okay, I know I got some other people here. All right, we're gonna VW. Better. I don't know what that is. What's VW? Veteran Awards or something like that, isn't it? Okay. So, anyways, we always get lots of calls here.
Yeah.
At the
That's
station.
what we don't get calls from different people.
Yeah, we should get calls from everybody else.
From the listeners.
Okay. I seem to have a lot of birthdays today. Okay, so I have Antoinette Warren. Happy birthday. I have Janie Ray. Kiki Rena sent that in for her birthday. Let's see who else I got here. Okay. I have Davisha Riley. I have Destiny Hicks. I have Diane Pope. I have Charles White. I have Kendrick Watson. I have Letitia Armstead. I have Dallas Burleson. Samantha Smith. I have Slimothy DeGreat. I have Angela Beecham. And that is it. Oh, and then I have, from yesterday we didn't do, Andrea Maxwell, Nickel Boyd McLean, Kay Manning, Anthony Daniel, Carlos Burrell,
Oh, that's good.
Jason Gilbert, Joe Skaggs, and Jorge Nicola.
Okay.
Wow, I have a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot today because we didn't have a chance to do yesterday. So, that's fine. Okay. Do you have anybody?
I'm sure I had some of them same ones
Okay.
that you said.
Okay, so I believe that's quite a bit of them today.
Yeah.
So that's
So happy birthday to all of them.
yes. And also have William Fulton. Happy birthday to Willie Mae Fulton. That's who it is, Willie Mae.
Willie Mae Fulton.
Yeah. I also have happy birthday to Levon. 16th birthday to Davion. Levon Davion. All right. I hope I'm saying these names right, folks. Okay. I think I am. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much. Right? Okay. All right. I think that's good. I think that's all I have.
Here's some information, too, that they have online from the coach about the game yesterday. She said, we came, we saw, we conquered. The Marlin Lady Bulldog stamped Love Lady with let's see what else she said. I guess they won yesterday with the L's. And somebody is saying, congratulations, coach. Great job, coach. I don't know what the score was, but they did win yesterday. So we got that.
Okay. All righty. Oh, my. Okay, so we ready?
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, gosh. Okay. So there you have that's the birthdays, right? So apparently they won, didn't they?
Yes.
Way to go, Marlin. Y'all are doing it. 2 more just came in on birthdays. Wow, it's a big birthday today. Roro Robinson. Happy birthday to Roro. Also, happy birthday to okay, that's Levon. I think we already did that. Okay, there's a second posted. Yeah, I don't know what's all going on. So, okay. I think that's it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Y'all know how we do this. Let's do it.
Okay.
And happy birthday to everybody.
Happy birthday. Happiness too.
Okay.
Okay.
I just be looking at that little awkward eyelash you got. I just want to pluck it. Yes, happy birthday to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the song. All right. What we do next is, in lieu of our moving up, here we go again, Marlin. We are in the middle of Radiothon Days. Radiothon Days means right now we're looking for supporters and donations because we are 100% listener-supported radio station. You have 3 ways to donate. Get to it before these donation pages expire. The Facebook one is only good for, I think, 8 weeks. Radiothon will be over with before you know it. Get on and donate today, please. There's a Facebook one that you can donate on for KMRL 90.3 FM Marlin, Texas radio station. Also, the GoFundMe page. Go to our GoFundMe page. Again, type in KMRL Marlin, Texas Radio. Or you can go to PayPal, your PayPal, and send your PayPal love donation over. Our PayPal station ID, payment ID is KMRLradio@yahoo.com. Either way, make it happen. Donate today. Help keep KMRL on the air for years to come. This is for the 2019 fiscal year as well as for the building fund. Okay, so in lieu of that, this is what we do. We sing it. Stand up, sing it loud and proud. Y'all know how it goes. All right? All right, so here we go. Here we go.
Know how it goes.
We're going to do the Wake Up Marlin, Here We Go Again song. Sing it loud and proud. All right.
Finally got a piece of the pie.
We finally got a piece of the pie. Finally got a piece of the pie, yeah.
We've been trying to get that pie for the longest.
Okay, I'm going to do Marlin, Texas weather right now. And then after that, Class C is going to do her National Day today. We're going to get that out of the way.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'll just do my own introduction.
Today, coming to you from our very own weather man, Crazy Chris, from here at 90.3 FM.
What is going on over there? Okay. Today, low of 34 degrees and only a high of 42. It's going to make it even worse because it is occasional rain and drizzle. All right. It's going to be 80% chance of rain today. 34 for your low tonight with a 50% chance of rain. Tonight, a little rain this evening. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy. Winds will be from the north-northwest at 7 miles per hour with gusts up to 10. Today, winds will be at 8 miles an hour with gusts up to 13 miles per hour at times. It's going to be occasional rain and drizzle during the day, and again, little rain this evening tonight. It's going to get, like I said, it's going to be about 34 degrees in the morning, but it's going to quickly warm up because it'll get up to 61 for your high tomorrow with increasing amounts of sun. Thursday, we're back to the rain. Low of 48, 57 for your high, cloudy with a touch of rain. Friday, we're getting right back up again. It's up and down, up and down. 59 for your low, 66 for your high with periods of rain. Saturday, your weekend to start off, there you go, 41 for the low, but look at that high, 71 degrees, mostly cloudy with some showers, and followed by on Sunday, it's going to be partly sunny, beautiful skies, 42 for your low, 65 for your high. It'll be drying out by the weekend, and temperatures are going to hover back up, low 30s at nights and 40s and 30s at nights, with 60s and 70s during the day. And it looks like that we're going to be 40s for your low and 60s for your high averagely all the way well into March. Even when I'm looking into March, I see a lot of 60s during the days, 40s for your lows. It doesn't really get much better than that. Until you get to the last part of March, boom, spring starts making its debut. So we have about a month from now before you start seeing mild nights and warmer days. But it's going to start getting up there. I don't really see nothing too significant as far as cold weather, mainly 70s, getting close to 80s by the time you get into April, and it will probably... You'll see 80s by the first week of April. So it is going to get warmer and warmer and warmer. Somebody had asked, when is we going to hit 100-degree temperatures? 100-degree temperatures will make its way, look at this, 85.
Probably.
In May.
In May.
May will hit May will get in the 90s, 95 area again. So... don't push it. Don't rush it because it's coming.
It'll be here before you know it. Then you'll be wanting to get out of it.
I know. It's a never-ending roller coaster cycle,
Really?
isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, it is time for National Day with Classy C.
Okay, today's National Day. Today is, as we know, February the 19th, 2019. It's National Vet Girls Rock Day. It's National Lash Day. That's eyelash. And National Chocolate Mint Day. No, Chocolate Mint Day. And National Girls Rock Day. On February the 19th, the National Girls Rock Day. Let me get my cheaters. I can see a little bit better. On National Vet Girls Rock Day recognizes the immense dedication of the nearly 2 million U.S. veteran women. National Vet Girls Rock Day Not only is it a day to recognize women veterans, but it's a day for women veterans to support one another and to share the resources, build relationships, and spread awareness of the needs of women veterans. Okay, that's what National Vet Girls Rock Day is all about. And also, what was the other one? Eyelash. The National Lash Day is observed, as we said, on today. This is a day to promote the love and need for true and fake eyelashes. It is a day we can all honor with lashes. Eyelashes are a key staple to every makeup look and beauty enthusiast. Lashes have always been known to make your eyes pop and stand out from the crowd. They help keep dirt and substance from entering your eye and aid in preventing infection. Eyelashes also help eyelashes also help prevent eye moisture from evaporating. Needless to say, lashes are a true necessity for every person at any age. And that's the National Day. And the other one was chocolate mint, and we all know what that is.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our first song break. When we come back, we're anticipating to have Professor Dr. Andrea Williams on our Black History Moment.
Yes.
So don't go nowhere. We're going to go ahead and do our official Wake Up This Morning songs. And we will be right back, won't we?
The Yellow Rose of Texas and Deep in the Heart of Texas.
Don't go nowhere.
KMRL 90.3 FM radio station presents
The Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show. You're listening to KMRL 90.3 FM.
KMRL 90.3 FM.
Keep it locked right here on Marlin's hottest radio station.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Marlin's hottest radio station.
KMRL 90.3 FM. Playing yesterday's favorites.
Yesterday's favorites.
And today's hottest hits.
Today's hottest hits.
Well,
All right.
Marlon, we're back.
Good morning. We're back. We hope you enjoyed that song break right here. You're listening to the Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show. All right. We got a special treat for you this morning. Like we said, we've been letting y'all know that we have Professor Andrea Williams from Ohio State University. And she is going to join us this morning for a very special Black History Moment in time that we've been talking about all month long as we celebrate Black History Month right here at KMRL. And this is going to be a great day, isn't it, Classy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's go ahead and patch her in on the air, and let's introduce you. She is a Marlin native, and some of y'all already know who she is. And if you don't, this is going to be a great treat. She's going to introduce herself, talk about what she does, and talk about some Black history important facts and whatever she has on her heart and her mind that's leading her to do today, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and patch her in.
Now, here's Dr. Williams.
All right, good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be with you, to all my Marlin natives there. I wish you well from the cold section of Columbus, Ohio. So it's great to be with you, especially in the midst of this African American History Month, a time for us to be able to recall the contributions that people of color and Black Americans have made to the United States in enterprise and scientific inventions and in literature and history, which are two areas that I especially feel strongly about. As Chris and Charles said, I'm a professor now at Ohio State University, where I teach literature classes that often focus on the historical background of a lot of writers who were writing in the 1800s and the 1900s. And I think what is sometimes exciting and surprising about my work is that I come across writers who have connections to Texas. And since Texas is my home state, I always feel especially interested in knowing a little more about them. So did you know, for example, that one of the first Black women to publish a novel in Texas actually did so in Fort Worth, Texas?
Wow.
Yeah, so this woman, Lillian Jones Horace, actually was born in Jefferson, Texas, about 200 miles northeast of Marlin. It's a bit closer to Longview, Texas, and she lived until 1965. Lillian Jones Horace published a novel in 1916 called 5 Generations Hence. And there she was really thinking about what would it be like 5 generations from the turn of the 20th century. So if you counted 5 generations from 1900, what would the world look like, and what would the outcomes of Black Americans be like? Horace was really a kind of outlier or exception because she was one of the few Black women to own her own publishing company at that point in the nation. She was one of the co-founders and owners of Jackson Jones Publishing Company in Fort Worth, and then was able to self-publish her novel. I know that even contemporarily we continue to have questions about how people have access to different publishing venues, and, you know, how can you really get your voice out? And so one of the things that Horace was interested in was finding and creating a publishing company that would give voice, give opportunity to Black thinkers and writers.
That is awesome. I didn't even know how much history. It was just so close to this area even.
Yeah, so her company was based there in Fort Worth. And what I kind of love about her novel, 5 Generations Hence, is that she follows this young single woman named Grace Noble, who's a school teacher, and she feels moved to make even more of an impact on Black Americans. One day, Grace in the novel goes out into the woods to kind of commune with nature, and she feels a really prophetic call to be a writer. So she leaves her teaching job, and she takes the risk of just trying to support herself on her savings so that she could write a book about what she thought African Americans most needed to do to make progress. And that book is really exceptional, especially in the ways that it presents images of Black women as intellectuals. You have to understand that the early 20th century was a time when Black women hadn't yet gotten the right to vote, when most of them were homeowners, when most of them were not going to college. And so for Horace herself to attend Bishop College, and she also spent some time at Prairie View A&M University, especially for summer school, for her to be an educated woman and also to write novels and fictional characters who were educated women, she was really giving her readers different representations of Black women to be able to look up to.
Oh, it sounds like an interesting book.
Was this the only novel she wrote, or did she have other writings?
Actually, because she lived so long, she ended up writing a second novel later on that's set more in the 50s and 60s called Angie Brown. And Angie Brown in that novel is thinking about what is her engagement with the civil rights movement going to be in the mid-20th century. Fortunately, scholars from Texas A&M University and across the country have been doing the work of recovering Horace's writings, even some of her personal diaries. So we now get more of a sense of the kind of personal experiences that she was having, and also what were the plots that she thought were going to motivate Black readers.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That is very interesting. And so I would assume that her writings and her novel is probably rare to get a copy of that and be able to read it, or?
It is fairly rare, but again, thanks to the way that new media is able to get things republished, her original papers exist at the Fort Worth Public Library in their special collections, but both of her novels have been reprinted and are readily available on Amazon.
Oh, that's good. I may have to get it and read it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe we could get that and read that. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that.
I think one of the connections between the first novel, 5 Generations Hence, and the contemporary moment is that in that novel, because Grace is an educated woman, she actually is put in a somewhat compromising situation of having to decide between marriage and career, and wondering whether as a kind of intellectual she'll be able to find an African-American mate. And so with the kind of intrigue of that romance, fortunately by the end of the novel she does meet someone. I won't disclose it all for those of you who would love to read it later. But I know that in contemporary culture, a number of popular articles, television shows, movies, and so on are continuing to question these issues and to say, especially for Black women who may have college degrees or be moving up the corporate ladder, what are their opportunities for marriage? And so we see a novel like this one even kind of dealing with those questions early on and trying to plot out a way that women won't have to give up any of the parts of the dreams that they might have for themselves.
So it sounds like from what you're saying is the stuff that she was writing about then, it also pertains to a lot of the challenges that the women, African American women, are going through today in the corporate world, and just being recognized for rights and women's rights.
And trying to find a mate.
Yeah.
Right. Those continue to be storylines in some of the best loved, whether fiction or new journals and magazines and memoirs that are coming out. There is, of course, the opposite side of that, where people are less interested in actually dealing with social realism or things that are actually going on, and want to get a little bit more imaginative, and that's where I turn to maybe a second writer like Sutton Griggs, who was a Black male writer who was writing around the same time that Horace was, and he was taking a definitively more masculine approach to thinking about the Black experience. I bring him up because, again, he was another Texas connection, and in his novel from 1899 called Imperium in Imperio, he actually imagines that Black people will kind of section themselves off and make an all-Black nation with a Black president, and where will the headquarters be? Nowhere besides Waco, Texas.
That's the book that we read.
Yes, so this is a book that, again, speculative fiction that's asking, what if conditions weren't like they are now, when he's writing that book in 1899? What could Black American and Black people around the world be like if they were free? And so that is special thread of speculative fiction is interested in those questions. So again, I highly recommend both Sutton Griggs, Sutton Griggs, and Lillian Horace to many of your listeners.
So when they were both of these people, when they wrote from the male perspective and as well as the female perspective, when they were writing these novels, were they maybe like, they were probably most likely wasn't able to get them published because, I mean, there was so much animosity, I guess you could say, where they didn't. I mean, were they published around them time, or did it come many years later before they were able to actually be known as publisher? Or were they just writings that were kind of tucked away because, in the years in the era, I don't think they could just went to a publishing company and they probably
because of the discrimination.
Right. Well, not only the discrimination, but they also didn't, for a long time, they didn't want black people to be able to know how to write or read or. So wouldn't that have dangerous for her to come out, or for him to come out and say, "Hey, I got this book. I wrote this." I just wondered, was it many years later that they discovered that they wrote these books, or were they able to get them somehow into the publishing line?
Well, both of these writers started their own publishing companies. So again, were able to accrue and gain enough capital, often through their collaborations with organizations like black churches or small businesses, for them to be able to start their own publishing companies. And you're exactly right in noticing that because of the discrimination that often kept black writers from reaching out directly to major white publishing houses, black Americans were very interested in founding and starting their own institutions that would support their needs. And so, again, Texas then has this rich history of people who were really grassroots organizers in thinking about how to get the printed word to more black Americans would be important. I'd say connected to that, one part of my work that I spend a lot of time thinking about is what we call black print culture or the black press, and really thinking about the ways that newspapers and magazines were a primary way that black Americans were communicating with one another and sharing their ideas. Most recently here on campus, I even have my students doing a research project of looking back at a number of different black magazines, even like Jet and Ebony and Essence, and mid-century magazines like Tan Confessions, and thinking about how those publishing venues gave black Americans a place where they could talk about politics, where they could talk about economics and entertainment, and also to put into place different literary strategies and be more lighthearted in imagining the love and everyday lives of black people.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. So there's so much history. I know there's so much history in the South and stuff, but it seems like Texas had so much going on versus, when you hear about Alabama or Mississippi or Georgia, I know it's history going all across and stuff, but it seems like it's so much involved in Texas.
With it being a southern state, too.
Right, and so now a number of writers, even contemporary writers and professional scholars, are starting to put more attention on the Black South. I think that historically it has been too easy to associate the South with whiteness and with Confederacy and with those kinds of antebellum slavery practices, and to almost write Black Americans out of the picture as anything more than a civil rights activist or enslaved people. And so now, especially in the last, I'd say 15 years or so, there are a number of Black writers with Southern roots, like T.A.C. Lehman in Mississippi and Tayari Jones, whose novel An American Marriage has been optioned by Oprah to be made into a film. And Tayari is another Spelmanite, along with me, who's from Georgia. And so increasingly they're saying, we want to reclaim the South and let the stories be told about how Black Americans have had contributions in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas as the Southwest, and some of those other states. So those are 2 or 3 writers that I would especially recommend to your listeners more contemporarily. Tayari Jones and her novel An American Marriage in Georgia. Brittany Cooper, the feminist scholar who has been writing often about popular culture and also about her journey to feminism in her memoir called Eloquent Rage. And then the writer T.A.C. Lehman from Mississippi, who talks in his memoir about what it's like to be a Black boy growing up in Mississippi in the 80s and 90s. 90s and his own journey to being a professor.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's some great
You
books
you are so full of history. I mean, the you're just going off about so much, and it's exciting. And wow, I mean, are you getting the same vibe as I am?
Oh, I've experienced this before by talking to Dr. Williams about.
You are
something.
so lucky.
Yes.
You're very lucky to be able to sit down with somebody that actually knows history like that, because you can get a better feel. And these are things that she's talking about. You don't hear every day, or you don't see it taught in the schools. They don't tell you.
And most of this history that she's talking about is just the literary part, but it's so much more history than just that.
So I know you're writing your second book, right?
Right.
Have you finished it yet, or are you still doing it?
So I'm now still in the process of writing a book called Living Single, Unmarried Women and the Making of Black Culture. And that book is interested in thinking about how African-American unmarried women have been major contributors to many of the artistic, economic, and political changes over the 20th century. I think it's very easy. Well, I'll say that part of this book has been inspired by more modern changes or contemporary moments. I often see a lot of headlines of things like, is the black church keeping black women single? Or is marriage only for white people? That's really decrying the number of African-American women who may be unmarried by the normal childbearing time that most people will have partnered and had children. And so even by thinking about this contemporary question, I wanted to take it back to the time period that I usually look at in the 1800s and early 1900s. And so what I'm pointing out there is that when I started to think about a lot of my favorite writers from those earlier periods, a lot of those women were either single, always single, or never married, or widowed, or divorced, or separated. And there seemed to be some connection between their marital status and how they were able to contribute by building schools, building Black women's club movements that were important in education and in fundraising for local communities and civil rights. Often they were building boarding houses and spaces where single women could live together safely. So I really want to think more about the ways that single women were making contributions, and in that way challenge the stereotype that to remain single is a problem, to be a menace. I think that simply looking at the statistics all the time isn't the best way to really tell what a certain population is contributing to the social life of the nation.
Do you think that, and I'm taking it back in that time period and even today, do you think that the single black woman is getting more accomplishment done than it would be if she was married or had a family to contend with? Do you think that slows her progress down for making an impact, especially in the black culture? Or do you think that maybe now the single black woman is not getting as much accomplished without that mate or without that family status? I mean, what do you think on that?
I'll respond by thinking about a kind of pop culture touchstone. Recently, I saw the movie What Women Want, and with Taraji P. Henson as the star. And what struck me about that movie was that in that role, she was playing a kind of professional sports agent, and she wanted to be promoted, but was facing a kind of gender discrimination within her job. And in addition, she wanted to try to pursue a high-profile client who initially rejected her by saying, I don't trust a woman who's single. I don't trust a woman who doesn't have my same family values. And so they care to pretend that she has a family to earn the trust of other people in her company. And so I think that that's really pointed in saying the ways that single women are often considered as a threat, as people thinking, okay, here are they going to be aggressive, here they are taking opportunities away from men, and that has actually worked against the job opportunities and promotional opportunities for African-American single women. I think more nationally, studies have suggested, whether married or single, that women often bear a lot of the responsibility for domestic housekeeping and child rearing. And so it seems inevitable that there would be some consequences for the time and domestic and emotional labor that they invest in their household, having some relationship to their careers. That's neither to say that everyone who wants to be good at their career should remain single, or that our wives should assume that they have the advantage, but rather that we really need to look even more closely at the kind of pros and cons of both those situations, without necessarily assuming out of hand that singleness is always worse.
Right. So it's like in the movie that you're talking about, I noticed what I got out of it was, it was kind of offensive because it was a lot of gender discrimination against her being as a single woman. Like you say, they expected her in order for her to get that contract. He wanted her to be, with a husband, with kids, so she had to play that off to kind of persuade him to go with her and sign the contract up for the sports thing, but. That was one thing I didn't like about it, is because it's a true depiction of how they do today. Not only do you have to deal with just racial discrimination, but now you have, which makes it harder for, I think, in my opinion, harder for the black woman, is now she has the gender discrimination, because they expect, or they think that the black woman needs a mate, or she can't do these on her own. But in fact, what we're seeing is there's a lot of independent single black women that are business owners. They are homeowners. They can take care of their stuff. They have good jobs. They don't need that second income. And it's not like it was back in the 50s, 60s, where women just stayed home and the man went to the office and everything was like Leave It to Beaver days, It's not really like that. To me, that was just a lot of fictional, what they wanted people to believe on TV. And now you're looking at women, and I think it's inferior to the men, because I think men are scared. I think the male population is scared of where the female population is going, because they're strong, they're educated, they got a good head on their shoulders, and they're not sitting at home baking apple pies and cleaning houses no more. They are leading. They're not just sitting there depending, they're actually leading. And I think that is what is in modern day currently is scaring the heck out of it, because women are actually leading over the men, in my opinion.
Well, I think, first of all, as someone who personally really enjoys a great apple pie and being able to bake those, we definitely want to value, as I've said before, the emotional and domestic work that homemakers have always produced. So it's not that we want to value work outside of the home above the work that people do within their homes. I know my own mother was a homemaker for a good part of her life. But it's also historically the case that, you're right, Leave It to Beaver was a kind of television myth that was a lot more accessible to white Americans than to black Americans, because black women historically have worked outside of the home at a higher percentage and a higher proportion than their white counterparts, than did white women. Mostly because of or partly, I should say, because of the suppression of black men's wages, so that it wasn't as easy to run a household on one black man's income without having that secondary income. So that was part of the reasons that black men and women in domestic relationships have often had to collaborate in that regard. I think what might be novel or increasingly the point is that people who aren't necessarily drawn to relationships for financial stability, but that gives us an opportunity to think about what are the other ways that partnership can add to people's lives. If you take the fact that you simply need a second income off the table, what else will you be looking for in a partner that can help to sustain your life? And more than that, what else can you be looking for in your friendships and your family relationships that can also build you up? So I'm always very interested in thinking about how single people are not necessarily alone. They very often are parts of extended networks and girlfriend groups and clubs and sororities and so on that really give them sustenance and help to support their spiritual needs, their emotional needs. And so I think that in that way we have to look even beyond the nuclear family of just mom, dad, and kids for thinking about how we can build community and how people can be supported.
And as far as the black man and the black woman being out in the workforce, well, it was a time when the black man couldn't find a job and the wife had to step in and be the bread earner. He may had little odd jobs and stuff, but he couldn't find an organized job, to take care of his family, like you said.
But that was only because they wouldn't hire him,
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
It's not that he wasn't willing to work. The jobs were there, but they wouldn't give him the opportunity. But like you say, but then the wife would go out and they had more open to let her clean houses or whatever it was. Wait staff, I hate to say that, but that, they would have to come and do it.
That's how it was.
Because the black men had skills. They could do masonry. They could do all kinds of stuff. But they were fear of letting him come in because the white sectors wouldn't let him in.
And some of those jobs were designated for whites only.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let the black men, get in.
So there wasn't a whole lot of black businesses that were looking to hire black people, right?
Yeah.
It was very rare, if few.
Yeah, that's why a lot of black women were in the home as far as domestic workers and stuff like that.
But that was just so unfair because they already had to worry about the house and had children to worry about, and then they had to go out and work too. So I guess what I take it in instance when that was happening was at least the male figure was taking care of the kids, I would assume.
You saw. Well, sometimes they were, and sometimes it wasn't. But a lot of it you saw on another movie about the maids, The Help.
Oh,
a lot of those men on there, they were just, wasn't working as much as the women were doing domestic work either. So I think that was parts of it, too.
Yeah, I think, the opportunities that were available to both African-American men and African-American women could vary city by city and even region by region, which was part of the reason that many families decided to migrate in what came to be known as the Great Migration in the early 20th century, of moving from the south to the north as the nation industrialized and trying to look for maybe more opportunities through factory life rather than agricultural and farm life in the South. So over time, the opportunities in those different cities and regions very much changed. We know now perhaps some of those cities like Detroit, Toledo, and so on are on the downside of what had been that migration, since the industrialization is declining into what we now call the kind of Rust Belt culture of those industries that had been major leaders, that you could previously work at an auto plant without a high school diploma or without a college degree and be able to live a very middle-class lifestyle. And some of those patterns are now changing as an effect of our global market and much more. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's really great. One other thing, I know, like you said, you're still writing your second book. Your first book, of course, is already out. Where can our listeners get purchase a copy of your first book? Is it available on Amazon or?
It is available on Amazon, and I was also pleased to be able to give a talk to share something from my first book at the Marlin Public Library and donated a copy there. So I encourage readers also to drop by the Marlin Public Library and check it out for a period of time and learn more about my work there as well.
Well, can you give them the name of your book again also?
The name of my first book was Dividing Lines, Class Anxiety and Postbellum Black Fiction. And here postbellum means the period after the Civil War. So I was especially interested in how in those decades after Black emancipation in the South, there started to be the rise of the Black middle class. And we see that reflected in literature of the period as African Americans are deciding how much they need to work together to fight white supremacy at the same time that they acknowledge perhaps the social differences between them in terms of class as well.
So there you have it, folks. Get out and purchase her first book, and then do you have an anticipated release date for the second book, or is that still undetermined?
I don't, but I encourage people to look up information about me to see some of my earlier publications. Especially, I've been thinking about, for example, how singleness is represented in the period of slavery when many enslaved people could not be legally married. And so I have a great review on the film 12 Years a Slave that was out a few years ago. So you'll be able to see some of my contributions of thinking about how these issues of race, gender representation, and singleness inflect our culture.
Wow. Well, we would love for you to be more of a guest at times, because you are so full of knowledge, and this is good stuff that people need to hear, because it's not stuff you can hear every day just from anyone. It takes dedication and someone that's very knowledgeable of the era of yesterday and today, and that is it's just so awesome. I could sit here and just talk to her all day, because I mean my brain is just absorbing everything she's saying, and it is so much. Just when you thought you knew Black history, you don't know it till you hear it like that. It is so much. It's so vast that I don't think you could ever explain every accomplishment that has happened in Black history moment of yesterday and today.
The literary aspect, where you can read about these things. So
much experiences, personal accountances. You could never get to them all. It's just so much.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about Black history is that we keep making it every day. As soon as 1 minute is over, we've made Black history. So it's been a pleasure to share this history moment with you. I hope you all have a great show.
Oh, thank you.
We thank you.
We
thank you. Yes.
We really enjoyed it.
And don't be a stranger.
I won't. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And there you have it. What a great, great, great interview with Dr. Professor Andrea Williams of Ohio State University. Thank you, sweetheart. That was great. We welcome her anytime to call back in and give us some more great accountances. We're going to go to a quick song break. When we come back, we'll do your Texas lottery, and then we'll have our final word to say, huh?
Yes, because we've already had our Black History moment.
Yeah. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
90.3 FM radio station presents
The Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show.
All right, here we go. We're back. Okay, it is time to do the next thing we're going to do here.
I hope you enjoyed Dr. Williams. It was very interesting conversation. We really enjoyed it. And now we're up to the lottery report with our very own Crazy Chris.
Yes.
He will be giving the lottery report today for Texas lottery report. And after the lottery report, next will be Classy C, just kind of giving a closeout of today and saying her final word. So stay tuned for the lottery report. And we will be here with you on the lottery report. Did you enjoy the interview with Dr. Williams? Dr. Williams is a Marlin native, and she graduated from Marlin High School right here in Marlin, Texas. So you can't say that nothing good can come out of Marlin, because she came right out of Marlin, and as we so-called say, right in South Marlin. That is where she came from. And she's moved on up, and she's gotten her, PhD, and now she's a doctor, and she's a professor at Ohio State University. That's one of the well-known universities here in the United States. So the interview that she gave was very informative.
Yes,
and
it was.
very interesting. And now we're going to do the lottery report from very own Crazy Chris.
Jackpot. Maybe today they'll draw my lucky numbers. If not tomorrow, there's another jackpot. It could be my turn. Jackpot. With all the games, I've gotta like my chances to do my celebration dances. Jackpot every day. Jackpot another way. Jackpot for me to play. Jackpot so I can hit the jackpot. Just can't wait. Jackpot to celebrate the jackpot. Jackpot.
Megaply, and you could multiply your non-jackpot prize winnings by 2, 3, or...
Okay. There you have it. We are on the Texas Lottery. Texas Lottery supporting Texas education and veterans. Right here on KMRL 90.3 FM, sponsored by us. Let's do it. Let's talk about these games. Woo-hoo! Guess what? Tonight is Tuesday. Get your shot at $206 million with the Texas Lottery Mega Millions, now featuring Megaplier. Last Friday night's numbers were 10, 38, 40, 43, 65, yellow ball 12. All right, Lotto Texas tomorrow night. Get your shot at $7.5 million. I'm still waiting for a second Marlin millionaire. Let's make history again. All right, somebody won on the Texas two-step last night.
Oh, they did.
Those numbers were 1. Look at that, double 12s. 1, 12, 31, 34, and that red ball 12 won. Lucky winner won $875,000 in Houston, Texas.
Oh, man.
And it was a quick pick. Wow. And if you got 4 out of 4, you got a whopping almost $2,400. That's pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. I know Class C won $5 on hers.
Yes.
She's one of those 15,261 winners of $5 whole dollars.
I would have been that 800.
Wouldn't that been something?
Ooh.
It's gonna happen for you. All right, so you got another chance. Another shot at Texas two-step Thursday night plays on Mondays and Thursdays. It's back down to $200,000. All right, all or nothing numbers. Last night is 1, 2, 6, 10, 13, 14, 16, 17, 19, 21, 22, and 24. This morning's numbers were 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 16, 18, 19, 21, and 23. Last night's pick 3 numbers were 9, 4, 0. This morning numbers are in 2, 2, 8. It seems like that has been in before.
2, 2, 8.
Yeah. Okay. Last night's daily 4 numbers 6,700, 6700. This morning numbers are in 6356. These numbers will look all familiar.
Really?
All right. Last night, cash 5, 1 lucky winner. The winning balls were 3, 14, 19, 26, 34. 1 lucky winner from Temple, Temple, Texas. Won $25,000 from the Pools Food Mart on West Adams Avenue. No, it wasn't a quick pick, so these numbers meant something to them, and they came in. Boom, 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 boom. In a row. So congratulations to one lucky winner in Temple, Texas on their $25,000 cash 5 ticket. Okay, and coming up with the scratch-offs, the new games are coming out. Look at that. Find the Nines. Classy, tell us about these games.
The Find the Nine is a dollar game. And we will go on, and those games will be out on March the 4th. And also, we have Cinco Connection, which is a $3 game. And we have Hot Fives Hot Streak, and it's a $5 game. And the $10 game is 777. It looks like an interesting game, and the top prize is $250,000.
Ooh, looks fun.
For
a $10 ticket.
6 million tickets printed on that game.
And I like this one because you can either match your numbers or you can get a single, double, or 777 and win it if you get it on these little things, 777, 777.
Yeah.
Single seven. It's only 6 million tickets, and it's 1 in 3.94, so the odds are a little bit up there, but you got a good chance to win it.
All these games will come out on
March the 4th. I was going to say April. Look at them high five streaks. Ain't they pretty?
Yeah.
And of course, we got that, I don't know, another Spanish ticket.
Casino Connection.
This looks like it's going to be kind of difficult. Look how they're showing how you got to come across this way. And I don't know. That bet there's going to be a lot of people getting confused on that. I noticed something. They're getting lower numbers. They're not putting so many of them out, you know,
I'm
where
surprised.
you got so many.
What's the odds on this one?
Odds is 1 in 4.50.
Oh, it's still some high odds.
It's a high one. And then, of course, Find the Nines, $500 top prize. There's 9 million of them, and odds is 1 in 4.68. Yeah. So if you find, I don't know how many, 5 fives, 5 nines, you win the 500.
Yeah.
There's 268.
I don't like the $500.
I don't either.
Top price.
I don't either.
I think they should at least give you a $3,000 top price on a dollar ticket.
Yeah. And anybody else new? Nothing new, huh?
Nothing new.
All righty. So, there you have it. Play today. Text Lottery sponsored by KMRL 90.3 FM and the Classy and Crazy Chris Morning Show. Remind you to play responsibly because
it's only a game.
And play today because you just might win your what?
Jackpot. Maybe today they'll draw my lucky numbers. If not tomorrow, there's another jackpot. It could be my turn. Jackpot. With all the games, I've gotta like my chances to do my celebration dances. Jackpot. Every day. Jackpot. Another way. Jackpot. For me to play. Jackpot. So I can hit the jackpot. Just can't wait. Jackpot. To celebrate the jackpot. Jackpot.
Megaply, and you could multiply your non-jackpot prize winnings by 2, 3, or 4 times.
All right. So with that being said, hey, Marlin, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for Hump Day.
Yeah, tomorrow is Hump Day.
The camel will roll through.
Yes.
And please be safe out there. It is wet, and it was pellets of ice we're hitting earlier.
And it's rainy.
Wet and cold and rainy, so not much to do. Stay warm. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe out there. And remember, do something nice today for someone.
Yes.
All right, with that being said, Class C has one last thing to say, don't you, babe?
Yes, I do.
Let's do it.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for joining us today in your homes and in your cars. And we hope that you enjoyed the program and enjoyed hearing the interview with Dr. Williams from Ohio State. We really enjoyed it. And just have a blessed day and try to stay warm if you can. And remember to keep it locked in tune to 90.3 FM radio. And tell everyone you know and everyone you see. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
We want to thank you for listening to the Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show.
You can catch the show Monday through Fridays.
Live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
on KMRL 90.3 FM.
Marlin's hottest radio station.
We want to thank you for listening to the Classy C and Crazy Chris Morning Show.
You can catch the show Monday to Fridays. Live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Only on KMRL 90.3 FM.
Marlin's hottest radio station.